Hello everyone and welcome to the Federation Conversation. Episode 2. And it's a temporary name.
I was really worried that we'd be fated to fall into that YouTube curse of series that have an episode 1 and never...
Oh, no.
I've started so many of these series.
Episode 2, we're here. We're doing it. We're back. We're live.
Almost weekly, isn't it?
Live in person. What do you mean almost weekly? It is weekly.
What day of the week did we do it last week? Did we do it on the dime? Or?
We did it on Monday.
Oh, fantastic. And for a show that launched with 2 episodes, I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
This is, we're covering Discovery episode... Sorry, yeah, my name's David. This is Scotty.
Yeah, we got the introduction out of the way.
Yeah, we're covering episode 3 of Discovery. Context is for kings.
I haven't been able to say that correctly once. I called it Content is King.
Content is king.
Context.
I mean, that's pretty much their mantra right now with CBS All Access. And,
exactly. They're like getting people on the
Content is
service.
king.
Get those new
I think
subscribers.
they've actually already paid for the show with Netflix.
What? So Netflix money has already bought the show and it's bought and paid for now?
It's only profiting now because basically they gave it to all the Netflix subsidiaries across the globe, and that was enough. Well, they paid for it, and that was enough to pay for the show.
That's impressive.
Even though it's a really expensive show to make.
It looks expensive.
Yeah. Look,
that's a really in-depth review.
It looks expensive.
Expensive.
All right, thanks, guys. No, I mean,
well, it looks high budget.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's got great graphics.
Was this a bit of a gamble? Did they just throw the money at it and hope it was going to make a profit, or did they sort of think, Netflix will pick it up, we'll be good?
Well,
I guess I'm asking you sort of internal studio questions, and you have no idea.
I wasn't the director, so I don't.
Me and David are in our IT specialist T-shirts today.
Hi guys, we're here to fix a computer.
If you've got a computer problem, me and David can come out today, repair it on site,
and if it's under an hour, you get it for free
with crisp. David, let's not price ourselves out of the market here.
No, that's the thing. It's like a...
Oh, I got my hard drive recovered, and the guy said if he didn't get any information back off it, he wouldn't charge me.
What, so if he didn't do his job, he wouldn't charge you?
Hey, look, most data recovery people will charge you no matter what happens.
Oh yeah, it's like going to the doctor.
Exactly. So, but
you could be perfectly healthy.
A miracle. I don't know actually what the problem was, but I got all my stuff back. Anyway.
Oh, you got your stuff back. You didn't actually tell me that.
That's a preamble. This isn't a regular podcast where we just talk about ourselves. This is a Star Trek.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Star Trek
Discovery podcast.
Okay, so I just watched it half on the train coming here rather, and half with Scotty.
I sat here and watched it all in the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
With only a few interruptions from a screaming toddler.
And apparently I used all my credit.
All
my credit is gone on my phone.
Couldn't you set it down to 240p and watch it?
No.
Oh, all right.
No, apparently I just didn't have that much to begin with.
Well, I was able to sit down and write some notes and stuff, but I'm going to kick it back to David because I just want to... What did you think of that? What
Initial impressions of the episode?
Yeah.
Kind of... I don't know. They're trying to do this thing where it's all mysterious and everyone's acting weird. But first off, okay, let's just start at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I thought the episode was okay, but I hope they get more interesting.
Yeah.
Basically, because it was a little bit boring. One scene that I didn't like was when they're in 10 forward and they've got all the prisoners in 10 forward.
Oh yeah, okay.
I just want to point this out because I think it's kind of really stupid.
The canteen scene, yeah.
Everyone's looking at her weirdly. She sits down with all the prisoners. All the prisoners suddenly decide they want to kill her. I don't know why they want to,
It's just arbitrarily alright, there's going to be a prison lynching now.
In the middle of 10 forward when all these other people are around. I mean, I'm guessing there's some sort of... Captain Lorca made them do that to test her or something.
Yeah,
because
he's the
there's
puppet
no
master.
There's no logical reason why they would all suddenly decide to lynch her with all the guards around. Why wouldn't they just do it on the shuttle?
So either he's testing his new asset to see how she handles herself, or he's just watching her toy with her inept
Which I'm
companions.
guessing it's him testing her, but
to be honest,
it annoys me when shows do that because
I don't like either scenario.
Either everyone's really dumb or there's other stuff happening behind the scenes. So it's there's no real mystery. Either the writing's bad or I just don't know something yet. And I'd rather just think maybe they did this or maybe they did that.
It's one thing for the audience not to know what's happening, but when the characters seem not to know or care that much, it starts to get a little
Like that scene just annoyed me.
It's
I don't know why would the prisoners suddenly decide to kill her. What did you think of the episode?
Oh, look, this show really needs to lighten up. We've got every week now. We've got a new Discovery coming out and a new Orville coming out, and I just look at the two of them, and I hate both.
You hate both of them?
Well, it's only two flavors of I would say Star Trek.
It's too much on either side.
Well,
like this isn't an Orville podcast.
Here's the thing: is Orville's not even a comedy show. It's like Seth MacFarlane trying to make Star Trek, and the jokes
is a bit weird,
almost the mark, and it's just kind of lame. And Discovery just really has a stick up its ass. It just seems to be very heavy. I mean, I was watching the beginning, in the prison bus scene.
Yep.
And they're talking, and the other prisoners could have been lifted straight from what's the worst Alien movie? Alien Resurrection.
To be honest, I haven't really watched many Alien movies.
Well, the fourth one is the worst. There's a lot of what's his name, Joss Whedon writing. You got Ron Perlman and a bunch of
Whedon.
And the guy that plays Tuco, and they're all real. Some good actors in the movie, but they're all playing hardened cons, you know, and hitman and there's I don't know where that thread of sci-fi acting came from. Well, not even sci-fi, just movie acting,
just acting.
Where it came from, but it's through Resurrection. Top to bottom in all the DNA and this prison bus scene.
Is that the right word?
What?
Resurrection?
That's
right. I thought you were doing your thing where you just randomly pick words. Was it Alien Resurrection?
Alien Resurrection, yeah.
You sure it's not Insurrection?
To be honest, my brain.
I don't know.
My brain took a bit of a holiday. My brain took a bit of a holiday when I was mid-sentence there, and I looked over at David. He's like, is that the right word? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm still talking.
That's the thing. Usually,
we're doing a podcast. Oh yeah, I remember now.
Sorry. Usually you do that. Usually you pick a random word that sounds like what it should be.
You're saying usually people do, or usually I do?
You do.
No, I make sense heaps of times. Anyway.
So you don't like the hardened criminal aspect of
I really hate... You know, I don't know where sci-fi is going, or if I'm going to be any part of the viewing public. Maybe I'll just give up on science fiction completely, but I don't like that trope. The hardened, you know... And they're on a prison bus. I mean, it's just so... I've been kind of... not giving Orville much of a chance because it's such an earthbound, weighted to this pedestrian show.
Yeah,
like, they're farting and drinking beer and talking about the ex-wife.
And they're making all these like current kind of references, like you know John Lennon and the Beatles, and yeah.
Oh, that's Discovery. You're testing me now to see which shitty show is doing. No, I mean I'm not hating on Discovery just yet. I mean I actually. Oh, hang on, it'll take me a while to work out how I really feel. I only just watched it, but yeah, no, it does kind of piss me off that these space shows are both taking pretty different approaches to say, here's what we think of the future or whatever, you know, rather.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They still feel very.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Discovery is it's in a weird place because like. They want to set up all this mystery.
Yeah.
For the rest, obviously Captain Lorca has some secrets, and he'll do anything to win the war.
Oh, exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, we've got to establish character motivation.
That's another thing that I hate about this show and the Orville, but more about this show is that as soon as that nervous character came onto the scene, like she came into the quarters.
Is this the drooling redhead with the moles?
Yeah.
Warts. Sorry, not moles.
Yeah, don't be insensitive.
Growths. What are they?
I don't know. Everyone's got lumps on their faces, Scotty.
I don't know. Well,
they're never usually on TV, so you don't see them.
Fat, but I don't have any actual bespoke sort of lumps yet. Fingers crossed.
She just lays out all of her character traits. It's like, oh, there's one thing you should know about me. I'm
going to be captain one day. Captain of the ship of rejects.
She said that like, there's a thing you should know about me. I'm a blah blah blah. Like I've got a character trait, and I'm gonna explain it to you. Because I don't know. It's like I haven't watched, say, like the pilot to Next Generation recently. Because it's very
You should. Mum was watching.
I don't want to waste my time.
Two Rikers.
That's a good episode.
Last night. It's a great episode.
I was almost.
I told you to stop.
Hey, I almost watched that the other day actually, but
hold your horses. You gotta wait.
No, I can't wait.
We're not at TNG yet.
It'll take like 3 years. Yeah, I don't know if there was that much just blatant kind of laying out. I mean, of people's aspirations and like character traits and stuff like that. To the point where they're just like saying it to the camera.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, Data's an emotionless robot, but it comes up like they show that he's an emotionless robot.
Yeah.
Not in the pilot. He had heaps of emotion in the pilot.
Wesley, I pulled you out of a lake. I'm happy, even though I've got no emotions. I just want to be more human. Why
just
can't
seems
I
like
be
really
more...
lazy writing. I feel like they shouldn't be falling into that trap. Because I mean, if I can spot it, and I'm not a scriptwriter at all.
I don't want to kick them too hard. because it's a thin wedge to be on the. You know what? I don't know what the.
That's a good analogy.
I don't know what the analogy was going to be there, but it's
thin slice.
It's a very
salami.
thin thing they're aiming for, right?
Yes.
Because you give it all away, or you have characters that don't give anything away, and it's like, are they fucking with us, or does this person just have no character? You know, it's not easy, and I don't think the redhead is explicitly the worst case of a character, just dumping all of their motivations in one sort of. But it's not great.
I think one of the thing that annoys me with that is, like, my favourite characters in TV shows are the ones that start off as, like, a background character.
Yeah.
That you don't even think about.
Like Woody.
And then... No. He was introduced...
Was he a principal cast member? I haven't actually seen the first season of Cheers.
He wasn't in Cheers until the 3rd season, because Coach died.
Alright.
Coach died, and then they had the episode where they hired Woody.
What about that creep on Friends? The one that's always at the coffee shop and wants to make love to Jennifer Aniston, but...
No, he's always a background character.
Oh, you're gonna give me another example.
I'm trying to give you an example.
Okay,
you keep talking.
Sorry. Your turn.
It's kind of like Paul Rudd in Friends. No,
Paul Rudd, was he in Friends?
He was in Friends.
He was like 15.
He was pretty young. He was Phoebe's boyfriend at some point.
Oh.
I actually enjoy his acting in Friends because he's very like.
I think he's a fine actor. I think he's just been in some bad movies.
The funny thing about that is, like, he's kind of like blasé about everything that the other friends are doing. Like, it kind of grounds you in this crazy world of Friends, where it's like, oh, Paul Rudd, I can empathise with him.
Here's a guy that's as unimpressed as I would be in that.
He's not friends with all the other friends.
Exactly.
So he has some critical thinking.
He's there. He's like, I feel nothing for these people.
Yeah, he's not biased like everyone else.
I like that.
But then he also kind of fits in.
The everyman.
Yeah.
But
no, okay. My example, my example was Damar in Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Because he starts off as like a bridge officer on Ducat's ship.
Oh,
it's like season 4.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's like 3 seasons before he even did anything. Well, 2 seasons before he did anything. Before he even had a name. And it's like, I like that kind of character development where you have a whole bunch of time to like learn about a character.
Yeah.
Instead of just shoving... Or like O'Brien. Let's talk about O'Brien then.
Yeah, he's the transporter guy, and then by the end of the show, he's getting his own personal...
Because like 3 seasons, he didn't do anything.
Your favourite transporter. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He didn't get a farewell on TNG, though.
No, I haven't got the greatest recall at the moment for TNG characters, but I know what it is you're talking about. Yeah, people that just started off as a Q-tip, basically, and wound up with their own novels being published about them.
Yeah, I don't like...
you do like it or you don't like it?
I don't like when they just splurt out all their
too much too soon.
And aspirations.
Especially from someone with a drooling problem. Let's talk about this. In the 23rd century, I mean...
is she drooling?
Where do you see society going?
Sorry, I was looking at the first half of the video, of the episode on my phone.
Are we going to be able to cure redheads with warts and drooling problems and awkward personalities? Or, in the 23rd century, you can be all those things and it won't matter? I mean, I think...
Sorry, was she actually drooling? Can I just
She drools at one part when Bo Burnham is collecting her breath.
Oh, she's drooling when she's asleep?
By the way, I'm calling her Bo Burnham.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I got it. I understood what you meant.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm assuming, because this is what Gene Roddenberry said about Picard. They were all like, "Oh, we can't have a bald captain. We can't. They'll cure baldness." And Gene Roddenberry says,
"Nobody will care
in the
about
24th century. No one will care." So I'm assuming that's the angle they're taking with all these rejects on the Discovery.
Well, I mean, they definitely... Awkwardness was not cured at all.
No.
Because, you go to 24th century. And
in the guts, I mean.
Was it 24th century? Is it TNG?
It's, TNG is the 24th century.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and he's, fapping on the holodeck. And, it's... what do you think of Captain, is it Gabriel Lorca? What's his name?
The introduction of Captain Lorca in this episode is a sticky wicket for me, because when he actually introduces himself, I did not catch any of it. I was like...
I had subtitles.
I'll hop over and Google it. Oh, well, I didn't have the subtitles.
I just like watching shows with subtitles, because, like...
I might have to start doing it.
There's so many shows that people just mumble, or they just... There's bad sound editing, and it makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Well, anyway, no, Captain Lorca... I guess I can stop picking on his diction. I mean, well, how do you feel about him? I mean,
I think the actor is fine.
He's a fine actor.
I don't know what else he's been in, but I think he's an alright actor, and I think, I don't know about his... Like, the reveal at the end where he's like, I'm collecting all these creatures.
He collects creatures.
I'm slightly
You don't quite know what
deranged. I'll
my
do anything
motivations
to.
are.
I'll do anything to win the war. It's like,
Captain
well.
Slytherin's back in action. Yeah. Now, I mean,
Also, I was annoyed at the fact that he had a tribble for the entire episode up until the end.
it wouldn't shut up during that really intense scene.
Every scene in his ready room.
I'm going to add a looping tribble sound effect to this episode of the podcast.
Every scene in his ready room, it would go boom, 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 like that.
There's a kid playing in the next room. Distracting. Well,
another kind of nostalgia punch in the face where it's like, hey, you recognize this furry little thing? Ah! It kind of made sense in the fact that he's collecting creatures or whatever.
I kind of wonder sometimes if these showrunners aren't waving a red rag to a bull with this. They put the tribble there intentionally so that Star Trek fans can go, oh, but you know what? In Trouble with Tribbles, they said that they didn't recognize them, so how could he put... And they just do that just so that people have something to argue about.
I don't care so much about the continuity.
To me, it's a non-issue because it's clearly not the same Star Trek, and also the Federation's pretty big, so does it really matter? I mean,
yeah, I don't really care about the continuity.
I'm sure Captain Lorca, a man that collects wild beasts and how to collect... What's that movie called?
Find wild animals.
Wild animals and how we keep them.
How to get them.
He, as a man who collects these things, he's probably got stuff that no one's ever seen.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, the continuity isn't such a big deal because it's only like 10 years before, and we don't know what's going to happen to the ship. You know, it's obviously some sort of weird, fucking dark ship that's going to, some weird shit's going to happen, so it's like... And also, I don't care.
This is something I don't care about, but...
I'm starting to care less about continuity. I just want to care... I just care about the...
Going into Discovery, I explicitly said I do not care if this comes back to any other Star Trek, because I'm just going to watch it as its own show. Because I'm a human being. And I don't care about stupid things.
It's like I'm seeing these people online, like on Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about the Klingons and like trying to explain why they look differently compared to the other ones, and then they keep bringing up this Enterprise episode where they explained the Klingon difference.
Yeah.
I was like, they should never have done that in the first place. They should
just
ignore it. Just completely ignore it. Nobody cares.
When you have Enterprise, it was like a whole show dedicated to trying to explain previous things. And it just made for a bad show. So I actually like Discovery for being just its own stubbornly different thing.
Yeah, I would like them not to explain it.
Yeah.
Not to explain anything. I don't care about why it looks different.
Yeah. But have they actually got like a standard response as to why it's different? Or do they just say, no, we're just making this and it's what it is?
As far as I know, they have the rights to make a Star Trek TV show in the normal Prime universe.
Prime time.
And they don't have the rights to do it in the J.J. Abrams universe. So that's why they're calling it the Prime.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's as far as I can tell.
They didn't want to try and make something that looked like it was from the 60s, so they just...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I reckon if they could have put it in the J.J. universe, they just would have done that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Because it makes it so much easier to explain...
Yeah.
Why everything's different. But, again, who really cares?
So Captain Lorca, I mean, I'm watching him, and he's less like what I would have had, which is Captain Don Draper just firing people.
He's a little bit like...
But they're going for the male, that sort of male protagonist-y sort of thing that's been around for how many years now?
The anti-hero?
Yeah, they're kind of... But... Actor-wise, he actually reminds me a little of the CEO from Time Chasers, the guy that runs GenCorp and wants to steal the time machine from... You haven't watched Time Chasers, have you? Damn.
No.
But he talks like this. He's J.K. Robertson. I want you to...
Oh, J.K. Robertson?
J.K. Robertson. Yes,
That's not his name.
You almost thought you knew what I was talking about then.
It's J.K. Simmons.
No! J.K. Simmons doesn't
You were talking like
CEO.
You were talking like J.K. Simmons just then.
No, J.K. Robertson talks like... I'll play you with some of him later, but...
Get me pictures of Spider-Man. You're doing J.K.
You
Simmons.
are crying like a little pansy all over my drum set. Yeah, okay.
That's what you're doing.
I wasn't trying to do J.K. Simmons. I was doing J.K. Robertson from Time Chasers.
Is that a person?
By the way, before we start talking Discovery again, if you're going to buy Time Chasers merchandise... Buy the shirt and the DVD and the soundtrack. Buy it all, because when I did that, I got an autographed VHS cover of the film.
Who autographed it? Just the guy selling it on eBay.
No! Mr. Giancola, the guy that made the hero of... He's like the George Lucas of that franchise.
Was he selling them out of his basement or something?
He must be. I don't know what his operation is, but I wasn't expecting the autograph or the memorabilia, and I was like, oh!
He must be selling them out of his basement.
It goes the extra mile. Well, who cares? I'm not going to judge him.
He's doing the bungee thing. He's making them in his garage.
Anyway. So that's the Captain Lorca. No, the Captain Lorca, I mean, there's going to be more to him. I mean, we've only just met
they're definitely going to... He's going to there's going to be ethics involved. Like, it's going to be...
I don't know what... They're jerking me around a little. Oh, he's this hard-ass who just wants to win the war at any cost. Well, guess what? Actually, I'm inventing a new form of transportation. That'll be all, Lieutenant.
And I'm capturing creatures.
Back to the scary creature zoo where I capture all of my most deadly weapons. I mean,
he lacks focus. Does he lack focus? Maybe he's collecting all the creatures to unleash on the Klingons.
I think just these sci-fi showrunners are trying to hit too many dartboards at once. I've said this, I think, in the previous podcast.
Yeah.
There's too many markers that they want to hit at the same time, and sometimes they pull it off, and sometimes they don't. And yeah, gotta shoot for the moon, right? Hey, gotta make cattle! We're gonna make some beef!
Gotta hit the stars.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Bo Burnham now.
Well, we're calling her Bo Burnham for the rest of this podcast.
No, that'll get confusing. What's her name?
I don't like
Michael
her
Burnham.
hair. Michael Burnham. Shaniqua Martin Green.
I don't know about... She's just too, like... She's too smart. Like, the character's too smart.
Mm.
And kind of...
Well,
I don't know. There's something about that character. It's like a little Mary Sue.
Do they still call it Mary Sue?
Yeah.
Nancy used to quote the Mary Sue thing when she was in fan fiction. You know, you'd be reading a fan fiction, or just a real fiction, you know, whatever, a work of fiction, and there'd be a character who could just do everything, and you
yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. That's a Mary
That's
Sue.
basically what I feel like is happening here, because she just solves the problem of the big monster coming in.
Yeah.
And she's, for some reason, quoting Alice in Wonderland while she's doing it. Which
Well, that was the.
I did not like that at all.
If I had to pick a clear miss, it was that. I don't know, because
she's shuffling through the Jeffries tube and she's like, oh no, did she climb through the finger?
First of all, that analogy I think would work better for a show that was more about wonder and exploration and less about the monster of the week, which is just what this episode happened to be. I don't know what the next episode is going to be. This episode was kind of oh, look, monster on a ship. So that's not...
Yeah, the whole monster on a ship thing.
That's not Alice through the Looking Glass. That's not... it's just, you know, Alien.
It seems kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Just a way to kind of...
But, I mean, if I had to say anything in defense of Martin Burnham this week... shit, Michael Burnham. Is that maybe she was a little more consistent as a character, maybe less swapperoonies over the course of the show.
Yeah.
At least that's my first impression.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Because last week it was kind of annoying. It was like, oh, I'm Vulcan, and now I'm mad.
Angry, yeah. No, I mean, I think her personality is consistent.
Yeah. Not likable.
She seems to think...
She's not likable at all. She was like po-faced.
She seems to think she's a bitch, and also that everyone else is not as good as her at the same time. And it's kind of weird, but...
That's just self
I feel like they're just writing her to be a little too Mary Sue, kind of.
Yeah.
She solves everything. She's the main character. That's the thing about Star Trek. There's not usually a main character.
Yeah.
So you can have other people kind of shine.
Mm.
But in this, she's the main character, so she has to...
Yeah.
Even if the first two episodes she fucked up.
She's what you call
now she's not fucking up.
Point of view character in the first 3 episodes. I mean, I don't know if they're going to shift the perspective a little. I mean, you got a bit of that today when non-Alan Tudyk was talking to his boyfriend on Skype.
Yeah.
They're starting
more
to
exposition.
shift the focus.
Hey, we've been friends for 12 years. We've been doing this we've been doing this experiment for 12 years. We've been,
Yeah. Did they ever explicitly say they were porking on the Skype call?
It doesn't matter. He's dead.
Oh. Wait, what?
What?
Wasn't that his boyfriend? Oh,
that's the guy in the ship that blew up.
Oh, okay.
I think that everyone died on.
I heard Alan Tudyk's character was going to be gay. I was assuming that was his boyfriend.
No, that was just his friend.
Oh, but they were getting kind of...
I think that's just
flirty.
friends.
Oh, really? Oh, well, it turns out...
That's how friends talk to each other.
Wow, it turns out Scotty's got no idea what's going on.
Call up your male friends and say, hey, we've been friends for 12 years. How about that?
Well, we're on Skype. We don't get that flirty.
Well, we don't.
Anyway.
Yeah,
okay, so that's not his boyfriend.
I think there was a scene where he was walking around on the ship with all the dead people, and he looked down and saw the guy's face.
That made me laugh because it was an episode of the most recent season of Red Dwarf, and one of the concepts of the episode was that there's a ship that flies around dormant, and when a crisis comes up or when they need to do something, it prints out the crew for the mission, and then when the mission's done, they get recycled. and there was a printer jam, and there's a guy who's got an elongated freak face, and like, I mean, I really liked the concept, and it was done very funny. And for some reason, that melted guy on today's episode of Discovery looks just like the printer jam.
I do like those, the gore kind of squishy
I gotta say,
face.
as I've seen some things on the internet that I wish I hadn't, that gore looked pretty fucking realistic.
It's pretty. I mean, it wasn't moving around or anything. It was just obviously just still pictures, but they did all right with that.
Yeah, good job.
The monster looked like a. Nancy said it was a giant penis monster.
I don't see penises so much as just a standard. The Rathars, look out! You know, it's it's an alien. Look out!
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be thinking when I see that alien.
Run.
Also, I don't like. This is another thing about the show generally.
Yeah.
They've updated all the looks of everything.
Mostly.
Except.
But with that classic vintage.
Except the phaser.
The phaser is like way more similar to the original than the communicator is, isn't it?
I can't even remember them using a communicator, but they have that in the opening as well. They have the original communicator.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I don't like that. That's the only thing that's really survived the transition is the shape of the phaser because it's like iconic, and then it shoots these like really lame little.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick. For me, a phaser is a beam weapon.
Like that one that the girl was opening the door with.
Yeah,
that looked cool.
This isn't like a canon or continuity thing or you're just me visually, purely as a fan of Star Trek having its own sort of visual language. I like the beam weapon. Boom.
The same with the
Please don't clip that.
The same with the Klingon fight. Where the two fleets kind of start attacking each other in the second episode. And like there's no real big damage like or anything, it's just and it's really lame. Like it doesn't look like Star Trek. It's kind of
become sort of everyman
like
sort
I know
of sci-fi. So
also they had sorry, I'm going back to the second episode.
That's okay.
All these ships were equipped with torpedoes. Did anyone actually shoot any torpedoes? I don't think they did.
Yeah, I think the only torpedo I've seen fired yet is when Lorca scuttles the Glen.
The Glen.
Showing good recall.
Oh, there you go.
The Glen was
didn't even know that. Okay, yeah.
This is classic Star Trek. Every now and then you come across a ship of the fleet and it's, oh shit, what happened? It's wrecked. We gotta go in there and find out what happens. Happened, rather.
And then you blow it up because you can't leave it for the Ferengi.
Exactly.
Remember that episode where they've got the Stargazer?
I love that episode.
And they're using the big ball to like torch it. What happened to that big ball? Why doesn't Quark have one of those?
Can you imagine how many deals and contracts he'd like win on?
If he could just control
people with the ball.
What happened to the telepathic ball that all the Ferengi used?
Hey Quark, come over here. Anyway.
Yeah, there was another point I wanted to make about. No, I don't remember.
You know the point. I want to. What were we?
Maybe with that character development thing.
Yeah.
You know that girl with like that was on the first two episodes.
Oh yeah, she's
and now she's back and she's got the
cybernetic shaved head.
Yeah, I mean they haven't said anything about her yet. So maybe
she doesn't talk anymore.
No, but maybe she'll.
Naturally.
Maybe they'll give her some natural character development.
That character wouldn't have lived if they weren't going to do something with it. But at the same time, you can't really have two redheads on the show.
Yeah, that also confused me because I was like, hang on.
There's only one seat on this bus.
It's like having two black people, you know.
Is there now?
No.
I think the pilot of the shuttle was black, wasn't he?
But didn't he get sucked out into... you mean the second shuttle, not
the second shuttle. No, the first... the first shuttle...
Oh, that was a girl as well. I'm going out there.
Was that comedy? Because I laughed.
Also, what...
There was a few moments today that were meant to be a serious, I guess.
Did they beam her... Sorry, she got sucked out into space because her tube broke or something.
Yeah, did she have like a beacon or a...
And then 2 seconds later, the Discovery tractor beams them in. Did they save her as well?
There was nothing we could do. She's gone.
We could just teleport her back onto the ship.
No, it's too late. She's already dead.
She's gone. Well, because they would have seen her. Obviously, they were right there. Or maybe that was orchestrated by Lorca.
It was Lorchestrated. That's
exactly
what we call when he's doing the puppet master thing.
Well, obviously he's going to be doing that a lot.
Yeah. Orchestrated.
See, now I'm convinced that that's the case as well.
See, I don't... Well,
and that just annoys me, because it's like, now he's the puppet master.
To be quite honest, and say what you
I just want a captain, you know?
Say what you want about me. being a typical white guy. But I just don't know how excited I am to watch a show where it's the heroic black girl fighting the tyrannical, evil white dude. Can't they just be on the same side?
No,
Isn't
I
that
get
the
it.
point?
I mean,
aren't we all supposed to be on the same side?
At some point, she must.
I don't really care.
Isn't she going to end up being captain or something?
Yeah, probably. It would still make for a fine TV show if he is evil.
So is he going to be the bad guy in the first season, and then at the end of the season, she's going to be the captain, and then are we going to get Star Trek?
I'm just
second
saying.
season, we get a real Star Trek show.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't real
Just
Star Trek.
stringing us along.
They can do with it what they want.
What do you call
I'm
it?
not saying it's not Star Trek,
They're
but
drip
it's not
feeding us.
typical Star Trek.
No. I mean, look, again, but then I can't see this show progressing into something more Star Trek-y anyway. So I wouldn't ask for that, because can you imagine this show but more cheerful? I mean, I can't really.
I would love to imagine the show more cheerful.
They tried to do cheerful at the beginning of the pilot, and it was kind of lame.
The most cheerful I've gotten from this show is the nervous girl when she walked in, and she's like, kind of, hey, you're in my bed. It's kind of like jokingly, and then because Michael Burnham's so boring and Klingon, that Vulcan. There's no real interaction there, really. I mean,
How great was by the time we got to this, Nancy was in there too, and Captain Lorca has put he's put Shaniqua Martin Green in that chamber.
Yes,
and she's seeing all the planets, and he's like, "How would you like to go to 1,000,000 worlds?"
And that scene was weird.
And Nancy says, "Well, you don't have to pitch Star Trek to us." Which was
like that.
It was a quality comment from Nancy.
That scene was also kind of stupid because, like, you can show. I mean,
well, what I was trying to figure out is are they midichlorians showing her where they've been, or is
yeah,
she...
exactly. Like, was he sitting there going, "Okay,
Call up the
go to
holograms."
Vulcan, go to." No, is he like typing in the coordinates for her to actually teleport there? Like, was she actually teleporting there?
I didn't get it. It was kind of an out-of-body experience. Maybe she's like phasing dimensions or something.
I think she was actually teleporting because it was showing that she could teleport anyway. But that's kind of stupid.
But the visuals and just the way he was talking just made me laugh.
You could go anywhere.
You could go anywhere you want in the galaxy at the touch of a button.
In a split second, you'll be on Vulcan. On Andor.
And maybe I'm going to start keeping a tally. There were 2 finger snaps in this episode of Star Trek.
Was it?
I don't think there was like one in the whole first season of the original series. No, my memory there was. I don't remember.
One thing that I read about
security snaps her fingers to get them to follow. All right, everybody, follow me.
everybody this way.
that scene where she's leading the prisoners. Again, I wasn't sure if I was watching like an 80s comedy or like a...
Yeah.
Is it serious?
What I was going to say about something about Captain Lorca. Is it Gabriel Lorca? I think it's Gabriel.
I'm going to go with Gabriel Lorca, since I can't even remember the main character's name.
I'm just going to say Gabriel because that sounds right. The actor wanted his own catchphrase. You know, like, make it so.
Get it done.
That's what he wanted his catchphrase to be.
Oh! He wanted get it done, but he couldn't because Captain Jellicoe took it.
No, I think they just told him not to have a catchphrase.
Oh, well, no, you got to have a catchphrase. I think
get it done would have been great. I mean, I know Jellicoe already had that.
I think the one that the fans want at the moment is Damn It Stamets, because Stamets is the name of non-Alan Tudyk.
His scene was weird as well. Like, he got very intense about explaining the plot.
When he's on the shuttle explaining his motivations, when that jump cut we could talk about in a second,
show it.
I laughed my ass. Oh, do you want to show it?
So naive is to see them as different?
Sir?
But that scene with non-Alan Tudyk, I was laughing.
It's funny. It is very intense and very, like, leaning.
Michael Burnham's all like serious Michael Burnham face, and he's acting, and it's not overt comedy, but I'm just laughing. It's just so stupid. I was like,
I don't know why he was so...
Why is he Oh, shit. Okay, I was going to try and say a word that I know how to read but can't say. Proselytizing. Oh, boy.
Scotty, I think you mean proselytizing? Proselytizing.
I can't spell it or pronounce it, but that's the word I want.
Well, you can't...
Proselytizing. Yeah, no, I got it right. I'm good.
Okay.
Context is the king in Star Trek.
Context is the king.
Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't really get his character very much. Like,
well, no,
they went into the explain. Yeah, he was sitting there explaining his aspirations again.
I mean, no, I get the character.
I get the character. I just don't get why I should care.
Me as the sort of person, it's like a clear miss for me because it's just not the kind of character I'd ever give a shit about. So it's like, oh well, every Star Trek has 7 crew members you're supposed to know the names of and really have an interest in, and this one's just going to be
Michael Burnham, Saru.
Oh shit! Yeah, here we go. Redhead. Captain Lorca. Is that 5?
No, that's 5, and then
have we met the Doctor yet?
And then the engineer guy. What's his name?
Which one's the engineer? What did he do again? See, I can remember.
Bartlett. Wasn't the guy you were just talking about?
Which one?
Damn it, Stammet.
Oh, Stamets isn't the engineer. He's Captain Tudju. Okay. No,
that's the same guy. What are you talking about?
My brain is rejected. So I thought he was a scientist.
Yeah, but he's like in engineering.
Oh,
isn't he? Isn't he like the lead engineer?
You got to really pick a career. At some point in your life, you've got to commit.
So that's 6 characters.
Anyway, well, we haven't met the Doctor yet, have we? Just asked you that.
No.
Well, anyway.
Unless it's that Indian guy from the first episode.
I don't think we're going to be getting him back. He didn't make it out.
He died?
Yeah, he How great. At the end of the episode, Captain Lorca's offering a fortune cookie to Bo Burnham. And Nancy, you said it's a callback.
It's a callback.
It's a callback to Michelle Yeoh.
I also don't like these. I don't like when they do too many callbacks.
You know, she kept this her whole career. She never opened it once. It's yours now.
I don't like when they do too many callbacks in one episode, because they had the fortune cookie thing. They had her reading talking about Alice in Wonderland and then giving the book to the other girl.
That was a weird take on the callback because
she said something about
she's calling back her own weird.
Yeah, there was no reason for her to even talk about it in the Jeffries tube while she's being chased by a monster that's suddenly going like a quarter of the speed it was before.
At least on Westworld, they can blame the fact that they keep on showing different timelines. But
yeah. And then she said something else, like, I can't remember what she said, but it was like a callback to the first episode. You can't see me, I'm not here. I don't know, I can't remember. I can't remember what she said. Some quote from like a poem or something.
Somebody once told me that. I didn't like the John Lennon thing. Well, I mean, maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I don't mind.
What I think I wrote in my notes, I'm deliberately not consulting them. I'm going to let David discover them after we finish talking and sort of have a laugh. But I think what's happened is they've realised that 2000... what year is this? 2250?
22-ish.
Whatever. Around then. They've realised that's actually way sooner than we kind of thought. And so they're like, oh crap, people will still know what the Beatles are. I guess we better start to... we can probably get away with making some of the more famous things from now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that.
Mentioned in the show. I don't mind it.
Really? I was just making a joke before because you were talking about the Orville.
Yeah, of course.
Quick Orville aside, what was that episode that you were talking about that the new episode sounds like?
Okay, what I think I think the Star Trek episode that Orville is ripping off this week is For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. Now, David, have you seen that episode?
Not recently.
It's a classic take.
I mean, you say that and I don't really know what the plot is off the top of my head.
I asked you for a long episode title once because it's a original series gag, and I wanted a long title for an episode of that thing I was making on the movies.
Yes.
And you gave me, I think, therefore, don't colonize my face. It's about a planet that's alive. It's very good. I like that. I can see that in the TOS font.
It's a classic comedy episode title.
So
it kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
The Orville, what you explained to me just then about the world is hollow and I've touched the sky.
They're in a hollow asteroid. They don't know that it's a spaceship, and they're going to hit something.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Orville episode was.
So
they find a giant ship.
Oh no!
They go inside. It's like nice plains, and they find these people who don't know.
University campus on the inside.
Like it was like rough, and
rough and ready.
It wasn't like an XP desktop. It was like a bushy kind of
area. Okay, that's all right.
And they find these people who don't know that they're on a ship, and they have some sort of false deity.
Is there a Prime Directive on Orville? I can't remember.
No,
really.
I don't know. Who cares?
Why would they give a shit?
Why do I give a shit?
Victor Garber doesn't care about the Prime Directive. I'm giving you a ship.
I don't know about him, because, like...
Has he been in it again? Or was that just the first episode?
No, it's just the first episode. He'll probably be in it again.
All of the guests only come once.
I mean, they had Liam Neeson on.
I heard about that.
I mean, I don't know if he left his apartment, but he had the makeup on of the aliens, so maybe...
they came around.
They came to
With
his
their makeup
house.
bag. And Mr. Neeson, we're here for the... Okay, come on.
I just woke up.
I
I am the Alpha and the Omega.
I'm doing this as a favor. Anyway.
What else was I going to say about that? Yeah.
As a favor.
And Victor Garbo is in that...
Carbo?
Victor Garbo! Come to Garbo store.
Yeah.
He's in that Heroes of Tomorrow or whatever it is.
Is that a current show?
It's a current show. It's like a DC show, but it's like the D grade DC heroes. I don't even know. Like,
is that below Inhumans? Or?
It's around about the same level as Inhumans, but for DC instead.
Okay.
I've tried to watch a few episodes of that.
Bad?
I mean, I didn't even try to watch them. They were just on in the background, and I can't understand what's going on at all. It's just like this. It's basically a comedy, but they think they're making a real show, and it's just so weird and just...
Are you sure the problem's not with us?
No.
Yeah.
Because they have this... They had, who played Superman?
Brandon Ruth.
Yeah, it was him.
Yes! Got it! I was going to say Henry Cavill.
They had him
But
being...
he's too powerful now.
They had him being the budget DC Iron Man.
Oh,
Like,
come on,
and his
really?
name's like Adam Boy or something.
Adam Crusher?
And he's got like a suit. I really can't remember what his name is. What the hero's name is. But it's just such a weird fucking show that nobody... I can't possibly care about what's happening on the show.
Is there a superhero whose real identity is Adam, but hero name starts with Atom?
I don't know.
Have they not done that yet? They must have. Because if you got Atom Warrior,
Does
and his name's
Ant-Man
Adam,
count? Because his name's Adam? I think...
Oh, is
I
that
think
what they tried to do with
Ant-Man's
Ant-Man?
No, I don't think...
No,
I
that
don't think
doesn't
that's
work,
what they were
though.
trying to do, but it's close.
Well,
And I like
there's room for growth. No, the world needs more superhero stories. Yeah, let's get.
No,
to
it really doesn't. Please stop.
Oh, we've just figured out we can make a really crappy superhero TV show.
Have
Yeah.
they cancelled Inhumans yet?
I hope so.
Because I think it hasn't aired yet, but I think they already cancelled it or
I
something.
wanted to get
Because
that.
it had such bad reviews.
I wanted to be cancelled as hard as Bob Benson's TV show was.
Yeah,
Lone
they
Star.
showed 2 episodes and then just...
Well, we've filmed and edited 4 more episodes. Let's pick an air date. Yeah. What? Oh.
You won't show us?
But they're ready to go. They're on my hard drive. I'll send it.
You already paid for them!
They hated it so much they wouldn't even watch the show.
I can't actually understand why that was hated so... Like, it was a bad show.
It was a
but
very
like,
bad show.
No, okay. We're talking about Lone Star with...
I have seen worse shows that made it to a full
Exactly,
run. I mean,
exactly.
short season, say 6 episodes like that was going to be. But
Like, that's not as terrible as Inhumans is just fucking out there and terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
terrible graphics, terrible everything.
and being advertised to us as though it's the next best thing in fucking superhero television. See the trailers?
I don't know
have
what
to
the-
find a way to Earth. We live on the moon.
We're on the moon,
And
and we got a big pug.
I'm supposed to give a shit about this giant dog and bloody Ramsay Snow. Game of Thrones
I think
reject.
they were trying really hard because they got him, but they realised that, the actor doesn't make the show.
There are
You
some
need-
where you're better off walking. That's my review of Inhumans.
Okay, in terms of Discovery,
So yeah, Discovery. I mean, how do you feel about this week's episode, Dan?
yeah, I mean, I just...
Was it meant to be Monster of the Week, or they introduced it?
No, it's not Monsters really, because that monster was such a small thing in terms of, like,
And there
what
was
was
no
actually
mystery
happening.
They didn't have to figure out how it was killing people and how
No,
to
no,
stop
no.
it. So it's not really Monster of the Week. It's more.
That's what annoyed me about that monster, is like, it didn't really have a reason to be there other than to show that he's collecting monsters at the end.
God, yeah, they really did waste it. 45 minutes I watched this fucking thing, and it
Well,
was just
calm down, Scotty. It was only about 10 minutes on that ship.
Captain Lorca Dorka's latest and greatest acquisition. Captain Porker. I haven't figured out a good name for him yet, but
Yeah, I don't know. They're setting up all this mystery, and I don't care that much yet.
it's still a bit
and,
heavy, you know.
just...
I'm not asking for light and fluffy. I don't think we should have a comedy episode just yet, or a musical one, God forbid.
No, you don't have to do the Naked Now on the 2nd episode or something.
Yeah, no, exactly, of course. But, I mean, is this the mission statement? Are we really going to be... What do I call it? Abject misery. I think I wrote it down in the notes. I mean, I don't know.
If that's what they want to do, that's what they'll do.
I mean, I don't know.
Also, do Klingons... Is this like a universal thing now? Because the Klingon came out of the corridor and went...
Well, it was the most,
Is that it?
it was the most intelligible and relatable thing any Klingon said on the show yet. I mean, whoa, whoa. We didn't do enough Klingon impersonations. Me and David used to play this game on Halo 2. Halo 2 is a game, but we used to play our own game.
The
where we'd
minigames.
both be the Arbiter in a co-op game and jump off the sky platform.
You can't both be the other.
Oh,
Oh, you can.
oh,
Hang on.
oh. Well, I don't know how it works. But
No. Sorry, in Halo 2, if you're playing the Arbiter missions, you're both the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
I was thinking of Halo 3 where it gives you the Master Chief and the Arbiter.
we're jumping off the orbital dry dock or whatever the fuck it is. Oh, oh, oh.
Or like when they're searing his chest or whatever, and he goes,
And that's what the Klingon speech sounds like for a full. I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize, because I don't think I made a big enough point about this in the first episode. I really
fuck the new Klingons.
I don't like the way the Klingons speak, and I don't like the way they act. Like, they could have had a lot less prosthetics, so that the actors could actually talk and act, and it would have been great.
It's what I said to you.
I don't really care about what they look like in terms of continuity. I really don't give a shit.
Fuck continuity. It's just that the decisions they made are a little questionable. I mean, obviously in a modern science fiction show, you can't just have what the Klingons were originally, which is Mongols.
Yes.
Space Mongols, look at us with our little thin mustache. But I don't know.
And some of the makeup in TNG on the Klingons, sometimes it was a bit,
Kiss.
iffy. Yeah, exactly. But just because they look like
Even
that,
that rocked though.
I know.
I love the way Gowron and what's the other one, Martok. They look so cool.
Oh, they were cool. Look, Gowron and Martok were cool, obviously, but I'm talking.
Rocks.
Sometimes there's episodes where there's like
Krug, come on.
Yeah. Sometimes there's episodes where there's like background Klingons and they look stupid because they can't put
haven't
as
got
much
enough
effort into.
time.
Yeah,
You've got 20 minutes.
and that stuff. Don't make it look like that. Obviously, you got more money. You can make them look like those Klingons, but like good.
Yeah.
And just do that.
But
they don't even need to have the hair.
Yeah.
They can be bald. I don't give a shit. But just don't make them all.
I mean,
Everything.
Even if they are going to be giant melted turd heads, I still think, practically speaking, we either need to see them wearing slightly more efficient spacesuits.
Oh yeah, and they got the samurai armor as well.
Or I need an intrinsic understanding of why this lumbering great piece of shit is a fearsome warrior. Like, I need to see how that could possibly pose a threat to anybody. Is his armor bulletproof? Can he just take grenades and just keep on kicking? I mean, what is so fucking scary about a giant, useless... I'm just talking like Judd Nelson. No good, stupid, loudmouth, big nose. What does he say?
That's okay. You can do it on the boat.
You can do it on the boat.
I know the battlers weren't really like a good weapon
They weren't.
in the original, like, because obviously
We ought to get a couple of cheap battlers and try and duel with them. It's the worst.
But the new, I don't know if I've had like a good look at them.
Yeah.
Are they the same shape or that? Because they kind of just look like a thing you hold and they got
have
spikes
like
on
a
either side.
I think they've rejigged the battleth because they just decided.
But also that looks very just kind of flimsy and
This
like
looks even more flimsy.
yeah.
The original battleth would hold its shape, no worry, but you just couldn't fight with it. This thing, I don't know. I think you could probably snap it in a pinch. You could just put one foot down and.
Yeah, it just kind of looks lame.
There's a lot of Star Trek I can't wait to get into, like Deep Space Nine.
I'm really looking forward to getting into
One of my favourite scenes is Dax telling the holodeck thing what kind of battleth she wants.
Yeah.
That's a great episode. There's actually a lot of good Dax in that episode. Oh, tip to tip.
Tip to tip.
She's specifying the blade. And
Yeah. 28 inches. Tip to tip. And then Worf's like, oh yeah.
He's getting hard for this. So he can't get enough.
One thing, again, talking about the first episode again, they needed to update these Klingons, obviously, because the old ones look so stupid.
Exactly.
Why don't they need to upgrade the Vulcans?
But they did, though.
Did they?
Strictly speaking, new Vulcans look a little different. For instance, now Sarek
different
looks like
enough.
Patton Oswalt on a weight loss
No,
regime.
I mean, that's a different actor, though.
It looks...
But
But they
have they
also
done
have
anything with the
stupid neck collar things and
That's
weird
just,
outfits.
that's just a turtleneck, isn't it?
Yeah, why are the Vulcans allowed to be so similar to humans?
Exactly, because like it's just pointy ears. That's it, and a bowl haircut.
Maybe
So why isn't that outdated yet? Why do we?
I don't know. You've got the Klingons, Vulcans, Romulans. They're pretty much the sacred aliens. You wouldn't think they get fucked around with too much. They've jerked the Klingons around to be like, whoa, hey, these are Klingons, but they're not the ones you know. What's going on? Who are they? We don't find out next week. But the Vulcans they've left as like a cornerstone sort of thing.
They can't even touch the haircut because apparently the haircut is a
the
part
bowl-
of their
Keep
species.
the bowl cut.
I really don't like that. It's like
What, the bowl cuts?
like Spock had that, so now they
you know-
all have that.
You know who didn't? Cyborg.
And
You want to
Romulans, they gave like a lot more eyebrow in.
We got a glimpse of Romulus, did we? Wait, was that one of the worlds he was showing, or in his,
I don't fucking
in
know.
his space
Who
tourism
gives a
thing?
shit?
Anyway,
Did you say Andor? Did you say
Andor. They keep coming in for a bit of a drubbing. These poor Andorians.
Yeah, they were talking about killing Andorians on the prison bus.
Oh God, is that? Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that out.
Good luck.
I'm gonna be sitting like this for the rest of the show. Okay.
So, do you like the episode? Or?
Do I like the episode? Look, it's a fine episode. Again, I didn't feel the Michael Burnham character being so inconsistent this time. I'll talk about this for a minute. You can look at the notes, and if there's anything you want me to elaborate on, you just tell me.
Did Saru get taller? I don't think he did. I think he was always that.
Oh
tall.
yeah, that's
in the first episode, he was super tall.
an important question. Saru, did he get taller? In
No,
this?
he did not get taller.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a shot in the first episode where he's sitting in the captain's chair, and then they both come in, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to be in the captain's chair anymore." And he looks freakishly tall. I don't know what they're doing, whether or not the guy's just really tall,
Yeah.
or I think they've done something to make him like really tall and skinny.
Yeah, they must have.
But he's.
They put him on those weird stilt leg things.
Oh yeah, he has weird shoes as well. He has like hooves.
Oh really?
Yeah, did you see the shot? There was a shot where you could see his feet, and he had like hooves.
Oh God, no! I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest.
And when he gets scared, he goes. Sorry.
He takes a big dump on the floor of the bridge.
Yeah, it's uncontrollable.
Oh, black alert! Yeah, what the hell?
He senses danger.
What's a black alert?
I don't know. Look, obviously there's a lot of mystery on this ship.
Is that because they're on an experimental?
They're on a mystery ship.
Black alert! Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, I mean they're good notes.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing about this show is that when you look at Star Trek, you have really stand-up show episodes and really kind of lame episodes. And you can look at those stand-up episodes and be like, that's a really good episode. With this show, it's all kind of... it all seems like it's just going to be the same throughout. Because it's just this one story.
What?
It's kind of less exciting.
What length of a season are we in for with this? Is it 10 or 13?
It's 15.
Ooh, 15.
I think.
But with a break in the middle.
Yes. Because they haven't finished the end of the season yet.
Won't that be nice?
They're still making it.
They're still trying to figure out where to land this thing.
That does concern me that they're still making it. I mean, that's probably normal.
You're in a 4-engine plane with one engine. And you
Like,
don't
I know
where to
that-
put it. Where do we go?
When they were making other Star Trek, they were always making like 3 episodes at a time. I don't know. Maybe it's normal.
Look, hey, it's a big departure from old Star Trek, and I mean, Enterprise was how many shows into that sort of era of Star Trek was it? It was like 4? The 4th show of that
The 4th spin-off, yeah.
continuous period of time where Star Trek was being made. And
from 87 to 2004.
And when they went off the air, I mean, that was quite a while ago. Things have changed. Things have moved on. You couldn't just put old Star Trek on the air now.
That's a fact. I reckon you could.
Could you, though?
Oh, do you mean like a new old Star Trek?
Orville's trying it, and they're failing miserably. Or see, they're
People
not
like it.
I cannot understand people. It's not a question of...
And see, it's getting to the point with Orville where, like, it's a bad show,
Yeah.
but
It's a turkey.
I can tell that Seth MacFarlane just wants to make a normal sci-fi show, and then he can't because he has to put all these jokes in. And every time the music stops, you know that they're starting a minute-long joke sequence. Yeah. And it's kind of like I appreciate the effort he's putting in because he's putting more sci-fi in than he needs to.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because he's trying to do a sci-fi thing, but it's not really working.
You know, the weird thing about Seth MacFarlane is I really hate his comedy, but I sense somewhere in there, beneath the fact that he's just a basic bitch, are not the worst intentions all of the time.
No.
I mean, he co-produced that recent Cosmos remake. You know, he had a hand in that.
Yeah.
And I think that shows
the only reason I have to
somewhere in there might be a good guy.
The only reason I have to think that he's an arsehole is because he made Family Guy. And
again,
maybe he's not.
a lot of rich people get painted as arseholes, but it's kind of like, you got to think of it this way. Money reinforces a behaviour.
I don't care if he's rich, I just care that he made Family Guy.
No, but I'm just saying, like, rich people get tarred with this brush of being, well, you arsehole, you made Family Guy? Ha! You... And so, like,
I just don't like Family Guy. Sorry.
Money gets thrown at people, and it's sort of I mean, if you were getting rewarded to make something like Family Guy, you'd make Family Guy, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've talked about this once before.
And also, if I was writing a comedy sci-fi series, I might make some of the jokes that he's making in that as well. But I'm not a good writer, am I?
I remember once I was saying something, I was shitting on some series of movies. It might have even been before the Marvel thing happened again. I was saying, oh, these are crap. These are so unimaginative. And you're like, oh, come on, Scotty. If you were getting paid to be in them, you'd be...
Like, oh, what were we talking about?
I can't remember. This was ages ago.
I remember that.
Ages and ages ago.
If you're getting paid to be in those films, you'd be in them. Oh, I can't remember what it was.
But would you, though? Would you be subverting them? Would you be almost eye-rolling at the camera? Or would you be all in?
No, you go all in.
So that's the thing. I mean, like... I've reached a point where I don't think I can be quite as mean towards these rich, famous people.
Look, you never know when you're not going to get another role. So,
yeah, true.
If it's stomachable,
yeah,
then just do it. It's like that guy, the Australian guy. Was it an Australian guy who became James Bond for like one movie?
Lazenby.
Yeah, and then he decided he was a complete nobody. He just did that, and then he decided, well, I'm not going to keep being Bond. You know, I'm going to. That's below me. I'm going to wait for something, and then he just never got another
job.
And it's like, yeah, don't do that.
Well,
do some more movies. You're not too good because
be in some more crap.
You don't realise that nobody cares. Yeah, exactly.
But then again, if it's not that important to them, why do more movies?
For the money. And
we live and die by our decisions. That's what I say during PUBG games now. Because it's a very wise saying.
It's also very true.
So have we rated this episode yet?
It's
6. A solid 6, yeah.
Sure. You didn't want to do ratings for the previous ones.
No, I did. Well, that's because I couldn't, in good conscience. I mean, it's a pilot. It's a 2-parter weird pilot where I don't know what anything means yet. And to be honest, the 3rd episode hasn't really...
So that's the thing. By the end of this podcast, I wanted to get to a point where I had this like amazing library of all our ratings, and we could our favourite episodes are these ones. I think we're just going to have to say what our favourite
my
episodes
gut
are.
tells me that after we've rated 700 odd things of Star Trek, it's just going to show this weird graph of us being unimpressed by things.
It's going to be a little meaningless.
It'll all be 6s and 5s.
No, I mean...
Well, this is an alright episode, I guess. It's kind of stupid. Except for the odd outlier.
That's why when we get to the old shows, we're doing 4 episodes at a time, so we don't... So there might be a good episode and a bad episode in there to find it out. Instead of just an hour of us saying, whatever, it's kind of a filler episode.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what. If we're done reviewing this week's Discovery, I'd like to wrap things up by watching this week's selection of, not a segment yet, because I haven't decided what to call it, but
a segment.
What I want to bring to this podcast is something that David probably wouldn't do if he was on his own.
No.
Is to watch some fan film stuff and share how good this is.
Yeah, I don't like fan films.
So we're going to be skipping through something called Renegades The Requiem Part 1. A bit of backstory, but I think you know this much already. This was the Renegades thing that Tim Russ made, right? And they were going to do a sequel, and then this...
You know what I think of when I think of Tim Russ?
Yeah.
He made a very good Klingon in an episode of DS9. He was a very, very solid, very well-acted Klingon.
I will acquiesce to this. I don't really remember. Anyway,
I'll show you.
They were going to make more Renegades. It was like a sequel. And then this big copyright shitstorm happened with another fan film. That's a saga I can't wait to talk about one day, if I ever have the grounding to do so. And so the new conditions for fan films are you've got to make it... You can't put certain things in there. If they've got to be 20 minutes long, you can't charge money for them. All these weird rules.
Kind of Walter Koenig in them.
Yeah. Well, what happened was you've now basically got this fan film called Renegades The Requiem Part 1, where it's Shmekov and Tovok and all these non-Star Trek things and slightly changing uniforms.
The Klingons! They're here!
The Klingons are back! And it's tragic to watch because you've got them all wearing like slightly altered... I can picture Walter Koenig himself at the sewing machine like, I have to modify the uniform.
Turn the badges upside down.
It's not Trek. Look, we're fine, Paramount. Don't sue us.
Live long and happy.
No, well, we've got that covered. Was it 2 in the pink?
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, Captain.
I can't even do it. apparently William Shatner couldn't do the two in the pink one instinct, so they had to tape his fingers together.
I refuse to believe that story. If any man could do that, he can do it.
Yeah. So you want to watch it now?
I just want you to open up Renegades The Requiem, get a screen region happening, and I just want to... We can skip around. It's not too long, and we're not going to watch all of it.
Edit point.
All right. This,
Gary Graham.
he's eating noodles, and he's in a bar, and he's wearing paintball armor.
Sorry, who is Gary Graham? I might have missed the memo.
Soval? No, what's that? What's that Vulcan?
Which one?
The emotional Vulcan. The making steaks?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, him.
How do I know who he is and you don't?
No, I know who he is. Those 3D hands.
Admiral.
So,
Jesus.
So we come to a future where Chekhov... Chekhov has lost his hair. Cirroc Lofton, is that how you pronounce
Cirroc
it?
Lofton.
Wow,
This is a good scene.
Do you want to know why I'm confused by this?
Why?
He's called Shmekov. Well, he's not really. I haven't heard his name yet. He's called Tovok, but he's still called Cisco.
Is he?
I think I watched a bit of this, and that's what happened.
Was Cisco not popular enough to have a trademark against his name or something?
They played the
copyright.
same bet we're playing by playing this, so like, they won't sue us.
Fair enough. And Aaron Eisenberg's there too.
Exactly.
It's all psych
Still missing a kidney.
Francisco.
I think of the birds of San Francisco.
All the evidence I've uncovered.
And Manu Intirami.
Who's Manu Intramiami?
Intirami.
I think I was closer.
He's little Borg kid.
Little Borg of horrors.
7. Yeah. What's his name? Fuck.
The one that looks like you.
Yeah, sure, alright. Except he's a big fat face now.
Oh, well, yeah, he is. He's in this.
Oh, and then he pulls up his arm and he's like, look what they did to me. So that's a different...
Which one was that? Was it the other one? That was
It's a different
Renegades.
fan film.
That was Renegades, the one that came before this. Do you know what they did to me? He's got a giant, like, big Borg Nintendo
sword.
Power Glove.
Yeah, that's him anyway. Shit, I almost remembered his name. His character's name.
I sometimes wish the Nintendo Power Glove wasn't a collector's item, because I'd have one in a fucking flat.
Yeah.
Just
You need it. You need it for the VR.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It confirms your assessment. The Confederation Council has been...
Oh, the
The
Confederation.
Confederate. We'll call it the Confederation.
So did they have to film scenes again, or do you think they managed to just dub that in? I mean, watch a man saying Federation, and watch a man say Confederation. Confederation. It's a little bit different.
All the evidence I've uncovered confirms your assessment. The Confederation Council has been compromised.
Damn.
You are certain that no one knows that you're anything more than a reporter.
Is he got pointy ears?
I haven't met...
Still
with
a
any
reporter. Is he
unfortunate
allowed to be a
accident.
reporter? That's kind of Deep
Oh,
Space
yeah.
Nine's thing.
They got Cirroc Lofton, they called him Cisco, and he's still a reporter.
What you really feel
Oh, he doesn't
here,
have pointy
the
ears.
pathos of Tim Russ, you see the guilt in his face. He knows he shouldn't be doing this, but he doesn't know why. Because he's not a self-aware man. He
There's
just
a little
wants...
rank thing that just like flops up.
He wants to keep the dream alive so badly. He's like Ted Kennedy, running for president in 1980.
He knows he's going to get shot.
Well, no, Ted Kennedy never got shot. He just didn't do very well.
Oh. Shot in the polls.
Yeah,
Just not
that's
sure
what Tim
how
Russ
far
is
this
thinking, though. He's
goes.
thinking the dream will never die, but he's
They have
wrong.
infiltrated the fleet and the council.
Damn. I'm waiting for him to say damn in a Russian accent.
Dennis McCarthy.
Why didn't I see?
The music guy.
If I'd acted sooner, I might have saved Admiral Terrace.
Tuvok walks off, and that's actually printed on his shirt.
Maybe I didn't have an artificial hand.
That's my favourite one. What's this?
If I'd acted sooner, I might have saved Admiral Terrace. And my baby wouldn't have an artificial hand. I really like that.
Would have fallen for the trap and been attacked by their warriors.
First of all, in the 24th century, is having an artificial hand a big fucking deal? You
nobody
can
cares.
almost get away with that now.
I can't think of... is there somebody who does have an no.
Oh, I mean, how far is it?
Nog has an artificial leg and nobody cares.
Yeah,
Only he cared.
Nog has a...
Only he cared.
And then even then he got used to it, didn't he?
After, yeah, at the end of the episode.
Of the entire siphon species.
You did what was necessary. Barada was trying to destroy the Earth.
But you see how they subtly changed the Star Trek costume?
Also, they're in the very iconic, not Star Trek location of San Francisco.
Well, at least they look like they're really there. I mean,
The Golden Gate Bridge.
the compositing.
They didn't have to change the name of the Golden Gate Bridge, did they?
confirmation.
I don't think Star Trek owns that just yet.
They are pursuing a Rigelian cloaking device.
You want to scroll ahead a little, you might get some Nichelle Nichols.
And
Oh, now this, I mean, she's kind of cute. She can't act. I don't know where this... You watch some random scenes of this, I don't know who she's supposed to be.
Come about is
Too serious. There's a strain of acting, and you see some of it in what I was complaining about.
The Breen.
Febreze.
Oh, sorry, the Broon.
They've changed it to Febreze because it's more. You see it.
Sorry, they actually have a Breen on the ship. How does Star Trek even defend that copyright? Because it's just the helmet from Return of the Jedi.
Exactly.
The
Well,
layer
that's
waves.
why they're not suing them, because it's like, fuck, if we sue them, Star Wars will sue us. Damn it. They've got us.
George
Hands
Lucas.
tied. No, it's in the beginning of Discovery today with us.
Jaren, tell me you
How
have
do you
better
turn the
news.
volume down? There he is.
There he is.
You see it in Discovery. The serious acting with the Icheb, that's the one. The convicts. You get too serious, and it just becomes unwatchable, I think. I mean, who's watching this and thinks this is amazing?
Auxiliary power
Look at it. Look at it.
Look at trading their shit.
What happened to her?
It's low oxygen. Did you think the opening sequence of Voyager was too serious? You know where? Do you remember it?
Is it with the Marquis?
Yeah, with the Marquis on the ship and Tuvok's there, and they're getting attacked.
Well, the scenes that
What is this? What do we walk into?
this looks like, you know, that porn that they made out of The Next Generation.
Yeah. For that one, didn't they get like an actual Picard impersonator to be
did.
Picard, and then they just didn't have him in the porn parts? I actually watched some of that. That's a pretty good episode
Well,
of Star
somebody made
Trek.
a safe for work edit of it.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's a pretty
better
good
than
episode of
this.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. I don't know. What
They look like action figures in this shot.
they do.
It looks like a giant pair of hands are going to come in and start manipulating them.
One thing I don't like about fan films is the shoulders on the uniforms are always too big. Like, they always look too big.
I honestly have never seen... This is the paradox of Star Trek. We'll talk about this more when we get into the motion picture era. But I have never seen costumes that looked so good in the movies look so bad on fans as the movie ones, the red suits, you know, with the thing and the weird...
Oh, the flap.
That outfit looks fucking perfect on the actors in those movies. I mean, just you could not get it better. And then you watch a fan wearing it, and they just look like blobs. Not even the non-fat ones can't get it right, and I want to know why that is.
I think it's shoulders.
You
Well,
think-
that's definitely the problem with the TNG uniforms.
Yeah.
Because
Look
you've
at
got
that.
this flat line.
she's not fat.
Oh, I mean, these are different uniforms. But
Yeah,
they
well,
look, they look
I
stupid.
mean, yeah, they've put some.
Because on the TNG uniforms, you got this flat line
Yeah.
where the shoulders start. you know.
Yeah.
But then on people who don't have any shoulders, that droops down to like there. So it's like shoulders, and that looks stupid. It looks like you're wearing your giant dad's TNG uniform. You're wearing his suit. Yeah.
And why is Worf's thing in front of the captain? They've changed the bridge to make it copyright safe, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Who
Is
stands
Worf
here?
looking back at the captain?
Standing here. I can't see the view screen.
Here's a good question. Do you think LeVar Burton is too famous to appear in something like this? Oh, she's the little girl. It's like Molly.
What do you mean? Is
She's
she actually,
Molly.
she
She's
actually
Molly.
No, be Molly.
No, she is Molly. Well, they probably changed it to like
Mally.
O'Malley. He looks like he couldn't wait to get that line out.
How did he know where we were?
She's kind of... We're going to really avoid this thing of rating the females in Star Trek. Except for when it comes to the fan films. Then I can just have open season. It's like a turkey hunt. I'm just here with my big gun. Oh yeah, she gets it and Icheb's sad. Oh, I'm pregnant! No.
Is he a Borg?
He's a schmorg.
He's a smorgasbord.
The penguins in The Last Jedi are called porgs.
Yeah.
Totally not a cynical cash grab for plushie manufacturers or anything like that. Maybe,
No, that film needs penguins.
yeah. Story-wise, you'll understand why the porgs are very important to Luke Skywalker and what he's become and what he's faced.
They're basically the Ewoks
What
of
he's
The Last
been
Jedi.
through. Exactly.
Oh, see you, Icheb.
Wait, is Icheb dead too?
He just fell
he's-
out of the ship.
Icheb's got a personal shield? Oh no, I have a giant hand!
After 100 years, you say to yourself,
Oh, Jesus.
there's nothing I don't know about this.
Was this before or after?
This is after the stroke.
Okay.
I can't talk you out of
Well, she can talk again, but she sure doesn't look mobile.
Stopped.
So you're going rogue.
I prefer the term renegade.
You can't fix everything.
It's a good name for a series.
That's what I keep telling you.
Who's this? It's like you've got these two titans of Star Trek. You've got the original Chekhov for the horror, and you've
And
got.
here's my girlfriend.
Hey Wendy, I need you to come be in my movie.
What would I be?
Who's this crusty old weirdo?
You've done your part.
It's Walter Koenig.
No,
No, I'm not
I
done
did
yet.
everything wrong. I didn't follow the right principle.
And now my baby
Is
has
he
a
allowed-
robot hand.
My baby has a robot hand. Is he allowed to have a Russian accent?
Have you seen? Have you seen Ed Wood, the movie?
No.
In that movie, they've got what's his name? Oh God, he just died recently. Martin Landau playing.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Too many names to remember. That old actor that
Robin
used
Williams.
to play the old actor that used to play Dracula.
Yep.
Not Boris Karloff, the other one. Ah, damn it! I need to Google this. Stall for me. Bela
Christopher
Lugosi.
Lee. Oh.
Not Christopher Lee. Bela Lugosi.
Gary Oldman.
in the Ed Wood movie, and I don't know how accurate this is, but in the Ed Wood movie, Bela Lugosi's staggering around the set and he's drunk and he's swearing at people and calling them cocksucker. And I'm envisioning the production of this to be Walter Koenig between takes. He's just very impatient and very mean.
Think about it.
I got to try.
How much longer do I have to be under this fucking camera? She likes
Well,
it.
she's gonna fall over.
You sure she'll be safe?
I can't believe,
Acting in slow motion.
I almost slept with her. Don't skip ahead too far because we don't want to miss Gary Graham, but we got to roll this along.
You just missed.
Was he in this? Was he in Star Trek?
That black guy? No, he's
Oh, okay.
he's just a random.
Is that his son?
No, sir. They just
Disappeared.
disappeared from our boards.
So I was about to make fun of this actor, but it's actually
Who is that?
it's Nog.
Is that Nog? Make it bigger.
What do you mean make it bigger?
I just go and expert.
No, you can- no,
the people need to know.
That's Nog. No, shit.
Okay, so who's the captain? Because he's been in Star Trek.
I don't know, but yeah, no, that's him. That's listen to him.
Where'd they go?
Jesus.
Not her.
What the hell, did they cloak? No, sir. They just disappeared from our boards.
Well,
They disappeared.
I recognized the voice before I recognized the face. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I definitely recognize the.
Is that sound of a man who's missing a kidney? Can I just ascertain why he's so sick? What happened to him? It's like a lifelong condition. Or?
I don't know.
It's very sad. I hope he gets treated.
I don't know why he's so short, and I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that he's missing. That he had a weird kidney.
All right. Let's skip that one.
Stop being mean
That's
to him.
impossible.
He's one of the best actors in Deep Space Nine.
He's
And
an
Star Trek
exceptional
in
actor.
general.
I love that scene where he's in the tux and Vic Fontaine walks out on him.
And the holodeck disappears, and he goes.
He's like, "Argh!" Anyway, let's wrap this up. Whoa!
Oh, the peanuts!
There's a bowl of peanuts I'd like to get. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't. Okay, can I understand? I mean, this is a general sci-fi thing. This isn't Star Trek, but with Star
It's like
Wars,
Star Wars, yeah.
with Star Wars, all of a sudden every sci-fi, including Star Trek, has to have the cantina scene.
Yeah.
Why is that? Wouldn't it be truly alien to have something that's not a cantina? I mean,
Well, maybe they just drink on the street. Yeah, maybe there's like a kiosk on the street, and they just hand out drinks at the kiosk, and all the aliens get drunk on the street.
I mean, you've got to be able. Our finest science fiction minds have got to be able to come up with something a little more creative than a bar in space. And there's been at least 2 of them in Star Trek that I can think of in films 3 and 5. Having said that, I'd love to be in this bar. Look at these guys. Look at these hardened thugs.
So where's Gary Goldman?
What's the rock music? I mean,
Was that him?
I think Gary. Yeah, he's wearing the
that's
paintball armor that's become so popular in science fiction.
Kill Alvarez.
Oh no, she's gonna kill. Why is he gonna use
You get very.
a very, very standard Earth ukulele there?
It's nice.
Can you buy that in the Renegade store?
That's not a ukulele. That's a shmukulele blami. That's one of the.
You should just hold
the
it upside
jizz
down.
band. Yeah, that's one of the jizz instruments.
Look at these two. I mean, that's
That's good makeup.
a very good alien head application.
Oh, is that what?
What do you call it?
No. That's a very good baby head application. You ready?
Yeah, look at this. You've got the top. I mean, that could be in any Hollywood movie now, but then you go ahead a bit, and what have we got? We got pixie heads for all of
baby head.
$2.50.
There it is. Yeah.
You know what it is? Boba Fett. Oh my god. used to collect Wookiee braids from every Wookiee that he killed. This bitch...
How many Wookiees was he
with
killing?
the monobrow... I don't know. He must have been hunting them.
What about the Boba Fett attack on the Wookiees?
This bitch kills pixies. and I want to know why Chekhov... It's Chekhov, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Is wearing an Obi-Wan Kenobi hood. There's just no,
the thing,
there's no dignity in this.
A lot of the time when Star Trek actors are in these, I'm like, well, you know, he hasn't got much else going on. He's a good actor, but whatever, you know.
He'll be dead soon.
I have no respect for this man.
Gary Graham?
Gary Graham, yeah, I don't care.
Oh, yeah, no.
He was only in Enterprise.
This is punching up for him. Look at him.
He thinks he's really cool at the moment. He looks like Chimps from Sons of Anarchy.
He does, doesn't he? And the thing is, he's always been like this. The first fan film that Tim Russ made of Gods and Men, which is one we're going to have to play clips for. In future, when I play clips, I will edit. You know,
I assume you're doing
I will
that
pick
now.
my favourites. I'm not going to just do what we're doing here, scrolling through, because it takes too long. But yeah, he was bad in that too, and he was bad in the first Renegades thing, and he's bad in this. And she, is it a style of acting that I just don't get, or is she crap?
She's crap.
I don't know. I'm being mean. I don't want this to be a mean podcast.
She's terrible, and she's watching right now.
Okay, it's that serious face she just pulled. I don't. Why so serious?
My muffin.
What? They're delicious.
So we've got Gary Graham here eating noodles with the breen.
We're sucking up the noodles like it's some sort of alien delicacy. It's just 2 minutes.
Oh god, the graphics are really good.
I don't play with your food. I wouldn't if you actually ate real food.
I'm actually gobsmacked. This movie got an actual
No,
emotional
noodles.
reaction from me then.
I like them better when they're hot. Noodles.
Oh no, he's chasing up the waitress now. Skip ahead. Find some more Chekhov.
The breeding program became...
Oh yeah, Dax is in this,
Dax
by the way.
is in this.
I forgot to tell you. Your favourite
My
actress.
favorite
from
actress.
DSC.
She's so good.
predictable. So they started cloning.
It's always been a great paradox for me, because Dax was the one from Deep Space Nine that I most dearly wanted to impregnate.
You didn't need your mother.
But she's clearly the worst actress.
She's a terrible actress. Sometimes she has glimpses of like.
You and the
Well, again,
commander-
I don't know if she's bad, but she gets sucked into the same trap that this young lady appears to be, which is the seriousness.
Well, I mean that is just a part of the.
Cool in the future.
It's part of Tim Russ's.
It's a directorial. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they're doing it to themselves, but it doesn't work for me.
She definitely wasn't the highest achiever in Deep Space Nine anyway.
Yeah, that clearly.
I can't believe she left Deep Space Nine to go do Becca, and then she left Becca to go do something else. And then she
Adam
faded
Nimoy.
into...
She's doing Adam Nimoy now. Can you believe it? Big shooter. I am so proud of Adam Nimoy.
Well, yeah.
He's lost his father. How do you bounce back from something like that? You fuck Terry Farrell. God bless him. That's worth saluting. Well done, Adam Nimoy. Is he in this? He should play Spock. How great would that be? He should be in a fan film. Because that's
How much does he look like Spock?
James Doohan's son plays Scotty in that series.
Yeah.
How great would it? He looks more like him now, Adam Nimoy, because I think he grew hair to look more like his dad. There he is.
Doesn't really.
No, but he's grown his dad's sort of longer rock star hair
Zachary
to look
Quinto.
more like him. Snackery Quinto.
Are we done?
Yeah, just skip to the end. I just want to see a little more Dax. Wait.
Oh, gee. Credits. We were already at the end.
Where do people get off having credits that are like 15% the length of your video?
It's terrible.
We're not doing that.
Certain high-ranking entities.
It's the best in Star Trek acting, and that girl.
That'd still go there, though. Oh, maybe not.
Specific alien races.
So, that was a rather ramshackle look at Renegades.
By silence, I mean the complete and utter
The Requiem, Part 1.
of those races.
You know what's
So
funny?
it's not really Star Trek, then.
So, you can kill this now, but you know what's funny is I had this video on my Mac, right?
Yeah.
And I was too lazy to put it on a thumb drive and shuttle it over.
Yeah.
So I went on here to look for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know if they've taken it down or if I downloaded it illegitimately. So I eventually did have to pop it over.
But maybe it's just gone from the internet. Nobody liked it. sometimes, sometimes when I put up a video and it doesn't get many views, I consider just deleting it. Pretending it never happened.
I don't know if I've ever done that before. I might have once, just because But I think, actually I can remember doing that now. But then I looked at the video and thought, this is just a shit video. This isn't worth having up.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I assumed this was going to be shorter than the first one, but I think it's actually going to be longer.
Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, anyway, we're going to wrap this up. That was one episode.
We do have to start quickening these up, because I don't think we actually have that much to talk about. Maybe we do.
In a week's time, I won't be here, so maybe the constraints of Skype will be enough to sort of rein us in a bit.
Maybe.
Anyway.
We can have a different format every time.
Yes.
First time was us at our homes.
Next week, we're going to be doing it in a rotating room. It'll look like Scotty's bedroom, but it'll be turning constantly, and we'll have to climb over the furniture.
I really want a room like that.
How great would that be?
I really like that. I like that idea. We can't do it, but...
Anyway, are you going to come here to broadcast that? Or
no!
Are you gonna stay home? Okay. Ooh.
You think I have time to do that?
You came
Paul's going to take your RAM back anyway.
Oh, shit. Yeah, all right. Fair enough. All right. Well, anyway.
That's why I want to make them shorter as well, so I can upload them.
Fair enough.
Anyway, that was...
Next time, then, we probably won't be reviewing fan films, so it will be shorter.
Probably not, yeah. Discovery Episode 3, Context is for Kings.
Thanks for coming by. Post your comments. We're not going to... Oh, wait, no, very quickly read them.
Yeah, if you want to post comments, and if you want to email us at federationconversation@gmail.com.
It's a good Gmail.
Please do. And you can be anonymous if you want. We don't have to read your name. But just give us some stuff to talk about,
Beyond News
Not that we need more stuff.
Got comment of the week, I think. Star Trek Discovery sucks. It's an insult. We'll never watch it. Total disaster, and to accept that you are a sellout. Well, we're not sellouts. We're just being critical and watching. It's like I said to him, you got to watch things to know if you hate them.
He posted that comment about 8 minutes after we uploaded that video. Whoa. So he does have to watch things to know if he hates them.
Got to give him a chance.
Including the podcast.
All right.
Also, don't use the acronym STD, because that's stupid.
It's DSC, isn't it?
Yes.
Even I know
But
that.
people are saying STD because it's like, doesn't this series suck? Let's call it STD just to make it... It's STI. The joke doesn't even work. It's not STDs anymore. It's STIs.
Exactly. You're behind them.
Anyway.
Catch you all next time. We're going to go do other stuff now.
See ya.
Bye!
I like the power.